Howdy, I'm Wigglex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Oh man. Get too much stuff in here. I have put all my drink in here, apparently. Okay, and then I need some food. Oh, I got so many meat stews. This is awesome. I should probably take some of these with me. That way I have the foods. Whoops. Alright. Let's get back out here and do some more exploring. I want to hit that fort today that I said I was going to do and then didn't do last time. So let's head out there and knock that thing out. So played a couple of different sessions of D&D this week. I got my classless D&D started. I think it went pretty good for the beginning. Trying to remember where that place was at. I don't know what it looks like from above. It's got a water tower and a bunch of buildings. Pretty sure that's the military fort. I have no idea what they look like from overhead, I guess. Game's like, I'm gonna load in some more map. So we started on Tuesday, and I got the characters created. It went pretty good. It was kind of funny. I if I'm running a game and it's not a pre-made game, then I tend to um, lean a little more heavily and make it up as I go. Ooh. That dude got to me a little faster than I was expecting him to. And so I don't usually do much besides throw up a map and maybe some bad guys that might live in the area, and but anything beyond that, I just make up as I go, NPCs and situations and things like that. And so does it pop up pills? I thought I heard one of those guys, but then I saw that other guy. I tried to throw flares. I just came off a game of Deep Rock Galactic. Um, there's a lot of zombies in this place, man. I just came in to see if you got books. Stop trying to throw flares, man. That does not seem to be the case. Um, so, So I started out. I decided on 9 points. Everybody starts with stats on 9, and then they get to add 4 points, however they want. And I told them to, think about what their character, who their character is, and not what they want their character to be. And for the most part, they did. The guy I expected to try to min max it definitely did some min maxing. Not too bad. But he, I don't know. We'll see how his character goes. He did some weird stuff. I'm not sure. Um, uh, but we didn't get far enough to really. Oh, you know what? I was gonna make that diamond pick as well, and I didn't do that. Is there an easier way in this building? Oh yeah, the back door's open. I've probably been in here before. But not recently. I mean, I didn't loot that chair, so... Paper doesn't help me. Paper doesn't help me. Oh, bookshelf apparently has both sides. Paper, did you not hear me, game? Paper doesn't help me. Oh. Okay, here's something. Cooling mesh mod. That's could be useful. A lot of paper. A lot of paper. Not much in the way of recipes. Where's the blacksmithing section? All I got is paper, lady. So they decide what their characters were going to be. The one guy decided his character would be a student athlete, and so he put in points for like dexterity and um, probably dexterity, strength, that kind of stuff. Um, and then the other guy decided his character was going to be a businessman. And so he put points into charisma and intelligence, maybe. And then the last guy, the min-maxer, the DM from the other nights, he decided his guy was going to be a character from Clerks 2. I don't I don't know. Oh, nice. Well, 2 points to spend. We know where that's going. Seems how I've got to get to level 10, apparently. Okay, let's see. We already did that one. We already did that one. And we already did that one. Not very helpful. I mean, we did get one new mod, so that's better than nothing, right? I guess. And so then once they had put their stats in, then I asked them some questions. I don't remember off the top of my head what the questions were. I bet on top of this building is a thing. Let's jump up to the top of the building here. Can I go straight up this building? Maybe. And So the first question was, what did their parents do? And so if they had parents. So not everybody got the same bonuses going in, because I don't mean like, okay, not everybody got the same amount of bonuses going in, surprisingly, because of the way it worked out. Obviously, if you're a high school athlete, you're not going to get the points for what do you do as an adult. And so, um, did I just tell me I couldn't scrap that? Weird. I clicked on that and then nothing happened. And so then uh, then it was a question of, so what'd your parents do? So like, funny enough, two of them picked farmer, and so I asked them what kind of farms, and they both were farms with animals, and so I gave them point into um, a point into animal handling. Um, and at that point, I decided that the uh, working my way through the first one, because I did them individually, I decided at that point that the what is your parent? Oh no, I didn't unload this thing. Oh, dang it! I gotta go back to my house already. Um, would be skills, and so they gain skills from how they grew up, basically. And then I asked them a question: what was their favorite childhood hobby? And so then they got skills from that, um, or maybe a stat point, depending on what they picked. And then what was their favorite class, club, or sport in high school? Not theirs, but their characters. And so then they got some points for that. And then it was, what do you do after high school? So the one guy chose high school athlete as his character's current persona. So obviously he didn't graduate from high school, so he didn't get any points for that one. And then the last question was, what's your favorite adult hobby? And or sport or pastime or whatever. So I think I remember the businessman chose golf as his thing. So I think I gave him a point into perception, uh, and a point into dexterity, maybe, because you gotta swing that club right. Because golf is less about strength than it is about dexterity, I think. I mean, there's a little bit of strength into it, but it's mostly about getting that golf swing in the correct direction. Um, I've hit a couple of golf balls before, and so they got their points off of that, and then that locked in their starting points, because the idea is that you can get 10 points above whatever your starting points were. And so that's so we got those started, and then the I felt like I picked up other bullets. Oh, you shouldn't have that. I guess that should probably go in with the gunpowder making over here. And then we got started, and so I had them roll a d20, and the d20 determined where in the city they started. I laid out a map of the city, and then I had my own version of the map, and I put 1 through 20 across the city, just random positions. And strangely enough, the first guy to go, he rolled a 20. And that put him at the gate where everybody was being evacuated from the city. Because the city is under attack by a horde of monsters. And so but he started right at the southern gate, and so he tried to push his way back toward the combat for some reason. I don't know what he was thinking. But he rolled too poorly on his strength check to push his way through an evacuating crowd, and then he tried to make his way over to the guard and rolled even worse. Because there's going to be a lot more checks than we normally play with, I think, so that they can get their skill ups from doing things. And so so they so that was his story basically. Was he got started and then got pushed out of the city, and then he's at the entrance of the city, which is where we're gonna start the group session. And then the next guy, he goes and he rolls a 9, which doesn't sound too bad, but 9 is where I put the number for the actual place where the battle's going on. So he dropped down in the middle of the battle. There's my tea. Remember, I thought I had some tea and I decided I must have put it away. I did not. I got too much food. I got too much water in here. I need another. Oh, why are bones in there? Bones don't go in there. And so so the I guess those stones should have gone in here for being cooked up. What am I doing? I opened this for a reason. Yeah, bones. That's it. Bones. The stones. Where'd all those stones go? Right there. I'm going to put these over here to get turned into cement here pretty quick. And so, and then we'll drop that coat in here. And so then we rolled some like willpower checks to make sure he wasn't too freaked out by suddenly being in another world. Oh, they started on Earth, and so we did a little bit where like the athlete kid said he was at home on the family farm, and he was mucking out stalls, and so I'm like, okay, so you're standing there, you feel a cold chill, you go to dig the pitchfork in, and suddenly the pitchfork's not there. You lose your balance, you start to fall, everything goes black. The cold becomes intense. You can feel it inside your bones. It's biting, it takes your breath away, and then suddenly you're falling onto a large stone block road, and you don't know how you got here. You don't know where you're at. It's definitely not where you were. That kind of thing. And then the businessman, he had the same kind of thing. He was at work by himself. He said, and so he heard a noise. He turned. He thought maybe the air conditioner had come on because he felt the cold chill. And then when he goes to turn back, everything just vanishes. He starts to fall. Same thing. Only when he falls, then he falls comes out where they're attacking. He quickly talked to a soldier who was there. The soldier yelled at him to evacuate with the rest of the civilians. He ran into a guy who was packing up stuff and asked the guy what was going on. The guy's like, "We have to evacuate." Um, and he's like, "I don't know where to evacuate to." And he's like, "You don't even have any of your stuff." And so the guy's got like all of his stuff just spilled out in the street, trying to figure out what he wants to carry with him. And so he just grabs a pair of boots and shoves them at the guy. Uh, and so then he made it to the south gate because he didn't want to explore the city anymore, which is fine. None of them really seemed to explore the city too much after they got going. And then the DM guy, right? He goes and he's trying to figure out how to get the best stats because he wants to be a magic user. And so he wants magic user stats. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, what are the stats of your character? Like, there's no magic on Earth. So, I mean, having magic user stats specifically because you want to be a magic user is weird. So we go through his stuff, and then he actually lands not too far from where the other guy started. He was working in the video store because that's where Clerks takes place, right? And so he comes out of the video store, and then when he turns to turn the lights out, he falls because there's no door or anything, and everything goes black. And so he wandered around the city a little bit and wandered into the military district, and he wanted to grab some weapons from him. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you could try. And then one of the guards is like, you need to move along, get to where the other civilians are. And so he finally, well, I don't know where that place is at. I was gonna go to. I'm lost looking for it here. All right, I'm gonna go, I guess, all the way down to this road and then work my way around. What's this place over here? Oh, this is a different kind of fort, right? This is one of those out in the wilderness kinds. That's not the one I'm looking for, though. I've gone too far. I need to go back over here. And so that's where we ended, was with all three of them outside outside the walls. And so usually what happens is we'll play through something like that, and then I will get some idea in between sessions of where I want to go next. Obviously, it's going to be up to what they choose. Sort of. I mean, a DM lets his players choose where the DM wants his players to go. You don't hard code what you want to happen. You soft code what you want to happen, and then as the players make their choices, they wind up wherever it is you want to go anyways. You don't railroad them into it. You let them work their way into it. I've read stories of like, I created this world and there's a super high level dungeon, and now my players are, demanding that they be allowed in the high level dungeon, and if they go in the high level dungeon, they're for sure gonna die, and I don't want my characters to die. What am I supposed to do? And my thought is, well, A, there's nothing wrong with making a high level dungeon, but don't introduce it into the game until they're high level. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, obviously there are places they might not be able to go to in existing places. Like, new players probably aren't going to be able to go see the king, right? And, but yeah, so, I wanted them to start in a city with a war going on. That's what happens. I gave one of them the name of the place they're probably going to go to next, since that's where all the people are going to. I am definitely going to be cutting off any going back into the city when we start as a group. City, uh, so I can be really lazy when it comes to planning for my sessions. And I don't mean like, man, I can't find this place. I must have hallucinated it. Okay, I want to go deeper here because there's a whole section in here that I don't have anything marked. Oh, can't go through the shopping cart. And so they, not that I can fight it here, I'm 30 minutes out from nighttime. Is this the road I wanted? No. This'll work though. I can come over here and, oh, see, here's a place I need to mark. And I need to eat. And so there's actually some really good websites that do things like make you a dungeon, make you a city, make you a world in this case. Now I have made up my own worlds before, but for this one, I just had a procedurally generated world made. Made the city that we started in, and yeah, and we've gone from there. So, man, I don't see it. I really thought there was like one of those forts with the water tower in the middle and stuff like that. It must be in another city. I want to see this building over here. It's a school, right? Yeah. And but yeah, so we got that started. Everybody seemed to enjoy it, which is good. That's the goal. And then the other D&D we played was the pre-made campaign that I'm running. And so um, so we got started on that. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come over to this place and zoom in and see if I can recognize one of these places is what I'm thinking of. That'd be this right here, right? Maybe? I know what it looks like. I just don't see a match to it. Weird. Weird. Looks like there might be a little stack of stuff in there too. Oh, what about this place? Do you have one? Could be this right here. I don't know, but right now it's nighttime and I need to get back to my base. So they had ended in the town, where the only town in the campaign, and they had actually got a lot of stuff done accidentally. Okay, so the book has got like a list of quests, right? Huge list of quests. And then it's got a page that's like these quests come first, and then these quests come after they go to this place, and then these quests come after that place, and like that. And so I made that list based off the list they had, but then in the actual book, they change, and so they don't necessarily fall where I thought they were going to fall, and so I accidentally gave them quests. Oh no, what it is some of the quests, when you're reading the character information, says this character does this quest, this quest, this quest, this quest. And then the I've driven past my home. And so some of the quests are like, this quest is offered when they come back from Fort Frostfell, right? And so I gave them most of the quests that did not say this quest comes after they come back from blah blah blah, because there's like 4 different places in the campaign. And so I'm like, all right. And well, then I get looking at it. There's another section of the book that's like, here's the quests that go before Fort Frostfell. These are the quests that go after Fort Frostfell. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, no wonder why they're such a high level. Because they're level 3. Fort Frostfell is like a level 1 to 2 dungeon, and they definitely hit level 3 while they were in the level 1 to 2 dungeon. I'm like, well, but that's okay. I don't freak out about that. Because going up levels is nice. You get new abilities and things, and it really helps out trying to survive things when you've got all the nice abilities. But it still comes down to dice rolls. Even a super powerful set of characters can be taken down by a bad night of dice rolls. Even the most powerful bad guy can be taken out by a bad set of dice rolls. And so just because they're a level higher than they should be, which my the DM that I play under would realize this, just because you're a level higher than you should be doesn't mean that you're too powerful for the floor. Now, if you were 10 levels too high, that's a different story. Obviously, 10 levels are just going to mow through anything that far below them. Really? It says I'm... Really? It tells me I'm looking at the pumpkin plant, and it's like, you're punching the dirt. You're a dirt puncher. Uh-oh. We have a problem. Did I punch out a corn? I did. Look at, I punched out a dang corn again. No, put it down there. Why won't you put it down there? Okay. This needs to be cream. I am not seeing one of those plants I just harvested. Where's my aloe? Or not my aloe, where's my yucca? I see yucca juice. I see yucca seeds. Weird. Am I just blind? Yeah, I must be. Potatoes, meat, corn, animal fat, waters. That's more meat stews. Nope, that doesn't go in there. Seriously, where's my yucca? Oh, it's right here. It does not look like something to me. It looks like seeds. I can't see it because it looks like seeds. Because it's made in here. There we go. Right. Looks like I used all of them up. Nice. So they wandered around a little bit, trying to remember where to give the quests back to. They completed some of those. I guess they still got to go do the one. They haven't done it yet. And then they decided to go check out the refugee camp since they went to the first refugee camp. So when they came back, there's a murder, and they get blamed for the murder. And so I'm like, they try to rescue, and then the one guy's like, I pull my knives, and I'm like, okay, we'll roll initiative then. And he's like, whoa, 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 why are you doing that? I'm like, well, you pulled knives when the leader of the camp just said that they have a witness that you committed murder and they want to take you into custody. What did you think was going to happen? Well, I just didn't want them to arrest me. Yeah, that's seems like resisting arrest. I'm pretty sure they would fight you if you pulled knives on the guards. Fine, I don't do that. And I'm like, all right. So they, it played out pretty cool, actually. I didn't know how to get them to the point they needed to be at to prove, because I didn't want them to do what the book said. The book said, roll a dice, and that's how long they have to stay in custody before another murder takes place, so they know that that person didn't do it. And so one of them volunteered to take the witness back so they could question her because she seemed frightened. And so when they got back to her tent, she asked him to check out the tent to make sure that nothing was in there. And so when he went into the tent, she followed him and tried to kill him because she was crazy and she was the actual murderer. She was collecting hearts for a ritual to try to bring back her dead brother, and almost downed one of them. But another guy followed him. One of the other players said one of his characters followed and rolled really good on his stealth, and so he managed to help bring it down. If he had not been there, I'm pretty sure she would have gotten that other guy's heart. Which is hilarious. But they did manage to get the other guy freed, and then they went to the other camp. But there wasn't a lot going on in the other camp because the other camp they should have gone to, and they chose not to before they went to clear the goblins out of the fort because there was a quest there to clear the goblins out of the fort. But since the goblins were already dead, I wasn't going to give them a quest for goblins that were already dead because they had paraded around town the fact that they had already cleared the fort. And so everybody knew. And so, yeah, he's not going to pay them to do a job they already did. And so, yeah, that was the night. So, all right, with that, be brand the small things, lean in the light. I will talk to you later.